Is there a perfect measurement method?
No, they're not perfect measurement tools. All measurement tools have issues. Multi-touch attribution, for example, is rely on tracking. So it's bottom of funnel. Multi-touch attribution user usually overspend on retargeting and paid search. View-based and impression-based attribution is not solving the problem because that can be very easily gained by vendors and is actually gained by vendors. For example, a lot of digital vendors will try to have a ping on each phone so they can attribute themselves any performance. And then in LinkedIn, for example, a third of a second view count as an impression. Nobody can read at that pace. And so those numbers are completely inflated and misleading. Then you have the incrementality test. No, incrementality tests come with a set of issues too, because it does assume that your current buyers are in market, or it does assume that your current buyer will buy within the time frame of that test. So imagine you have a long consideration funnel, you do a 4 weeks test. If your buyers take usually 4 weeks to buy, you're not going to see that lift in the incrementality test. MMM has its sets of issue too. So MMM is basically curve fitting. And so the longer is your consideration funnel, the less reliable it becomes. And so you have to be very careful in the way you use MMM when you have consideration funnels of more than 4 weeks. I can guarantee you that if you only give spend and revenue to your MTM provider and you have a long consideration funnel, the predictions are wrong. But there are ways you can control that. You can look at mediation variable. You can look at steps in the funnel which are high in the funnel before the revenue, like demo, for example. There are ways to control it, but yeah, definitely MMM has its own set of issues for long consideration funnel. Then we have qualitative data. Qualitative data is actually great. There's a lot of things you can do with it. It helps on the measurement, but also on the messaging with marketing. So qualitative data, one that is very famous and much talked about on LinkedIn is the self-attribution, but it goes way further than that. So you can have all the sales notes, you can have the exit notes, and all of this data will help you to understand how you can improve the messaging and understand what drive people to buy from you. And now that we have access to LLMs, it's very, very easy to go through this massive amount of data. The issue with self-attribution, obviously, is that from a statistical standpoint, it's not as robust as other tools. And then you have a share of search, which is great because that helps you to understand also the longer term impact that a lot of other tools can't do, like incrementality testing, multi-attribution, MMM all struggle with that long-term brand impact. And so you have search of voice that can be very easy to help you to understand that long-term impact. No, it comes with caveats too. It can be noisy. The data is usually not very granular, but my telescope, for example, can bring you that search of voice information per channel, and I've been using it, and it's actually an incredible tool.